Hey, how's it going, guys? So today I'm going to be reviewing the Fifine AM6. So I normally don't like to review these type of microphones. Fifine did send me this no cost, so I was going to review it for them to show them that yeah, all microphones have their place in the world, but this one I don't usually venture into this because it's a USB-C, which is fine. USB mics, they can be okay. I prefer XLR like what I'm using now, but or USB XLR combo. But the thing that I usually don't like is that this is an RGB light, so it's kind of more for those people that like to be the cool streamer guys. So here's the box it comes in. Uh, oops. So as you can see, here is the microphone in it. It has a pop filter, which is always appreciated. It has a little stand that comes with a little swivel mount on it. So it could be sit on your desk if you want. You don't need a boom arm. And it comes with the USB-C cable. The directions, which I dropped on the ground, like Fine, I always compliment them on their directions. They have a ton on both the front and the back. This one even has specific terms for Discord, which is I primarily use it to chat with most of the people I talk to on, and it really kind of gives it direction on how you can go about using that. This is really marketed towards a somebody that's a streamer, and the reason why is because it is it has that RGB and it has this thing on the front of it here. So for game chat and then versus the game, so you can actually turn up your chat or turn up your game. So that way, depending on who you're talking to, you can kind of be less distracting. This usually isn't an issue in things like Discord. And the reason why I say that is because um, you can turn up individually people. I guess this is just kind of a shortcut to just turn everything all the way up, which only you can hear, which is kind of a benefit. But you can individually turn different people up on Discord. This also has the volume on both the mic volume and the headphone volume. On the bottom there, you have your brightness of your light, and then you have, I actually have to look up what that uh the second button is because it's not that clear. It just says waveform, and then it has a headphone. So let me go ahead and see what exactly that does since I just opened this and I'm looking at it. So what can I say about the build quality feeling it? It is plastic all the way around. It has like the pop filter, it comes off right here, as you can see. It has a little face on it. Some people might like that. Although, unless you're having a rear-facing camera away from you, you can't really tell that that's on there. It's more or less for you to look at to be happy that your microphone's smiling at you, I guess. Most people will see it on the back like this, or my mistake, like this. It has a RSB lights. I gotta see if this comes off right here, which it does. So you can mount it to a boom arm, which I'll do. I'll use the Fine boom arm to mount it to. So let me go ahead and look up what this thing does, and then let's kind of see how the microphone sounds, and then we'll go from there. All right. So unfortunately, the headphone for the direct monitoring does not work. So that is going to be a problem, but we'll do our best to try to get through this. So I'll have to contact Fifine, let them know. I obviously there might be something messed up somewhere. It could be user error. I tried a couple different things, but I don't know why it's not working because I checking my signals. Both things are able to, both sides of the headphones are able to hear noise, but just can't do it. So don't know why. Anyways, the thing at the bottom is actually going to be noise suppression. We have it turned on right now. So this is the noise suppression turned off. Again, this is noise suppression turned on, noise suppression turned off. The bottom one controls different light maneuvers. Like here's the microphone volume, and I'm turning it down, turning it back up, and now it's at max. Here it is with the microphone, like the mute button's on top. Here it is not muted and not muted. There's a little green light in the front that tells you to go from muted to unmuted. It's very touch responsive, so I like that. Other than that, I mean, other than I can't tell if the thing's working or not. I mean, it looks like a pretty basic microphone you see for USB. I mean, the HyperX quad core is pretty normal. A lot of people really are getting in the craze of this, liking their this type of microphone with the RGB lights. Even Shure just dropped a microphone as of today, or depending on when I upload this video, it's going to be on April 9th. They just released one that's going to be their like MV7 Plus. It has a RGB and has their own DSP in it. Since this does have noise suppression built in, so there is some sort of DSP going on in this. So, yeah, this is what the microphone sounds like. I'm going to have to listen to it and then this recording and then get back to you on jumping back onto direct monitoring and tell you how it actually sounds. So let's go ahead and pit it, though, up against a microphone that also is like a competitor. So this is about $54. It's you can get it, it's, it varies in price, but you can say about 54 is what, around 54, 55 bucks for this microphone. So this is probably one of their competitors. It's Talisman. It's also a USB RGB one. Talisman, I think this goes for like 34. Got this sent to me for free. Has similar mount. That's why I'm shooting it up against this. The mount, though, disconnects right here at the top. So this one doesn't have a swivel mount. It just has a more basic mount. So I'll go ahead and test up against this one. You can kind of see how the two compare. Then I'll go back, listen to it, and then, kind of wrap up the video. I'm not going to do any guitar work on these because these really aren't meant to be used for basically anything other than voice. In fact, let me just kind of go through the technical specs since I just want to get it here and out of the way. So these things have a frequency response of 70 hertz to 20K, which is generally in what you'd want for a vocal microphone frequency response range. I don't have the graph. I've looked it up, so I can't tell you where the boosts are, and I can't hear it, so I don't know what the boosts are. With that, you have a bit depth of 16-bit, but it also says /24-bit, so I don't know why it says that. It's usually either one or the other. I'm assuming it's probably 16-bit since all the other fine microphones I have are 16-bit that are more expensive. The Fifine Tank, this is really, I really like this. Is my favorite one of theirs. It's a USB /XLR combo one. It's built very solid, all metal, versus this one's mostly just plastic. But it's still, we'll see how it sounds because that's really what it matters. This is a cardioid microphone, a cardioid polar pattern. It's a condenser microphone. So it means it has a little capsule in it. Theoretically, condenser microphones are cheaper and less hardy because the capsule, if things get loud enough, it can damage it. So that's another reason I'm not trying to play guitar with it, because it can break it, and the frequency response just isn't there. It's really light. It only weighs 0.6 kilograms. Sensitivity is -42. Signal to noise ratio is 80 dB weighted. And obviously since it's a condenser microphone, it requires power to it, which comes from the USB-C. So we'll go ahead and see how it compares to a little competitor of it. And then we'll go ahead and wrap the video up, and I'll give you my thoughts on what I think about this. Okay, so here is the Talisman one. So it's very similar, just more of a comparison to see what another one sounds like. I'm not pinning it up against like the Fifine other ones, so like the K66 and the Tank. And the big reason why is because these are dynamic USB C microphones. This is USB-A, so like the printer cord cable. This one, I really don't like the way this microphone sounds. It's a too high end, like has too much treble, and just isn't a very good microphone to me. I don't think the way it sounds. I've used it a couple times, just kind of here and there on my laptop, talking with friends, and they don't really appreciate it either. But it's a cheap microphone. It's affordable, just like the Fifine here, AM6. I would say this is built a little better. It's a little bit smaller form factor. This one's a little bit more stylish, has a little bit more flair to it. It doesn't come with a pop filter. It did have like a clown nose, but then you cover up the RGB, which is why a lot of people get these microphones out of the fancy lights. So yeah, this is just a quick comparison of another microphone. It's similar price point, similar style, has a mute button on. This thing, you can tell it's cheap. You can hear those resonant frequencies, so it's not the best. Let's go ahead and switch back to the Fifine, and then I'll finish up this video and kind of go through some of the things that I like and don't like about it, and then yeah, and then we'll see you guys if I prefer this one or this one. All right, so what do I think about the microphone? So I think it sounds really good. Really good. I mean, listen to it compared to one that's similar to it in nature, the Talaman Hawk. This sounds really horrible. The feedback in it, the sound of it's being a little really tinny sounding. It's not a good microphone. Like, don't spend your money on this one. This one has pretty good off-axis coloration, so moving here and here, it doesn't sound bad, especially when you have it up. And the signal to noise ratio, so being quiet, very silent sounding signal to noise ratio, which is awesome to that. Also, testing it a little more off camera, the plosives are actually pretty good. So puh 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 puh. So those actually, so let's actually turn down the volume a little bit. Puh 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 puh. So the it does a really good job with the plosives. The little pop filter does. It also doesn't really have that big resonant frequencies. Like, maybe it's because it's made with all plastic. No idea. But yeah, it's a decent sounding microphone. The noise suppression isn't very good. It's very aggressive. So I can really hear any sort of silent feedback. It really, I can hear it's clamped down on my voice a lot. So I don't like the noise suppression. It's too aggressive. And there's no way to really control it. So it's, so would I recommend this to anybody? I'd really recommend this for somebody that is like somebody that just wants a USB-C with that RGB kind of look to it. And I would suggest this over like the very popular HyperX one, and there's a good reason for that. HyperX one is like $150, $160 compared to like $50 in the $50, $54 range. And this one sounds decent, sounds just as good. There might be small differences, but when you're getting to this type of microphone, it really is for people that want it to see it on camera and that want the little lights on it. That's it. And it to sound decent. So this is what that does. It checks that box. You know, if you're looking for something, if you're going to spend almost $200, you might as well, go all out and get like a serious heavy hitter for $200. You could get this bad boy, which is a baby blue bottle studio condenser microphone, full capsule, like pretty dang good microphone. Like, that's a professional grade studio microphone that people could use. So if you're not that serious, you're like, I'm not trying to make music, Or if I am, it's literally just gonna be me maybe rapping or vocals. Yeah, this one's fine. It's a good starter. The downside is on it, you can't upgrade anything on it. It can't like you can't use like my DBX286S I like to use, or using an audio interface. Uh, it's really difficult. And if you want to start adding plugins and routing things, it starts getting pretty complicated using virtual plugins, as well as people on a budget probably use Voice Meter because it's cheap and free, but it gets somewhat complicated to figure out how to use, and all those compound into being can be taxing too on your system. So it has its good and bad. I think for the price as well as what you get, this is a really good option. If you're looking for something else, like most people get this one for the USB-C as well as the RGB. I mean, one of the really good USB-C microphones, I mean, you're looking to spend like 200 some odd dollars, is going to be like you got the Shure MB7, that one, but that one's like $200-$300. They came out with a new one recently that's has a little RGB on top, and it has some DSP into it. So yeah, it's good, but it's expensive. But it's a USB XLR combo, which is great on it. So it has some pretty good things. The Elgato Wave would be another option, but then you don't get the RGB. You do get more control over the way the sound profile goes. So that one's a decent one. You also got the Beacon microphone, which a lot of people have mixed feelings about. It has a little RGB one. It looks very similar to the K688 one, except it has the RGB right there. From what I can tell on that one, it's pretty not good sounding when and it's like its frequency response all screwed up and jacked up all over the place. So would I recommend that one compared to this one? Probably not. As far as a USB RGB one goes, this is cheap, decent sounding option. I mean, most of the RGB ones are going to be like this. They're going to have some screwed up sounding signal. This one sounds decent. It's not very offensive to the ears. It's easy to listen to. I wouldn't mind chatting with people or listening to somebody stream if they had this one. Like I said, if you wanted to spend 200 some odd dollars, you could get a like a Blue, but no reason to. If you're on a budget, this would be an awesome budget microphone, especially if you really want that RGB lights. So yeah, that's the review. The other downside is on this, it is a condenser, so it is going to pick up more of the room compared to a dynamic microphone like the K688, where you have to get up pretty close to talk to it. The upside to that is you're more free to move around, so you can move around more and you can catch a lot of your stuff. It catches more of the room, so treatment is always good in any situation whatsoever. But so just me being where your setup is, having it in a carpeted room. If you have a closet, if it's in your bedroom and it's carpeted, cool. Maybe leave your closet doors open so you get more of the clothes to catch your the frequencies. Kind of a trick. Curtains always good option. Anything to kind of eliminate those hard flat surfaces. But other than that, I mean, it's a decent sounding microphone for the price. It does what you want it to do. Like I said, the only error is with the can't hear the direct monitoring, but I'm pretty sure that's something in my bad, because the Talman didn't work either, so it's worked on my other computer, so I'm sure it's a user error on my point. But listening to it back, it sounds decent. I wouldn't say it's world renowned, but I would say for its price point, it punches way above its weight. I mean, there are some microphones that are around the $100 range, which is half the price, that don't sound as good as this. So this would be an option, very affordable, user friendly, and I think if you bought this with the intent that you know what you're buying for the price, you'd be happy with it. So yeah, that's the review. If you have any other questions, comments, go ahead and leave a review, or not a review, just go ahead and leave a comment or email me and ask me, and I'll be sure to get back to you. All right, thanks.